Hey, special educators. Welcome to Teach, Taskbox, Inspire, the podcast dedicated to making your job as a special education teacher easier by making your instruction more fun for you and your students. Inside each episode, you'll learn how to get the most use out of your task boxes in the classroom. I'm your host, Lisa Hollady from Chalkboard Superhero, a veteran special education teacher passionate about empowering you with purposeful teaching strategies, helpful tips and tricks, and other classroom management tools that will help you thrive in your role. Let's get started with today's episode. Hey there, special educators, and welcome back to another episode of Teach, Taskbox, Inspire. I'm your host, Lisa Hollady, and today we're diving into a topic that can set a positive tone for the entire day. 8 simple social emotional learning practices to start the day. These strategies are not only effective, but also simple, so simple to implement, making them perfect for those busy classrooms. We all know how crucial those first moments of the day are, especially in the special education world. Integrating social emotional learning practices right at the start of the day is one of the most powerful ways to help students feel connected, respected, and so ready to learn. When we prioritize SEL in the morning, we are laying the foundation for a day where students are more engaged, more focused, and they're so cooperative. And let's be honest, that's a win-win for us, students, teachers, and everyone in that classroom environment. In the hustle and bustle of that busy school day, finding time for SEL can be super challenging. We have so much academic content to cover. SEL might seem like just like another thing on the checklist on an already packed agenda, but that's precisely why starting the day with SEL practices really makes so much sense. It ensures that we're not squeezing it in later or missing it altogether. And if you're a co-teacher like me, it's hard sometimes to kind of tweak the busy day schedule to kind of find time for SEL, but I promise you, talk to your co-teacher and make it happen. Today, I'm going to share 8 of my favorite, simple, engaging, and meaningful SEL practices to kick off the day. Remember, it's not about doing them all. It's really about finding the ones that kind of resonate with you or your students, and then gradually integrating them into your daily routine. Once you have that routine set, you'll have it ingrained with your students. All right, number 1. Let's start with daily greetings. Research has shown that greeting students by their name every single morning can reduce that challenging behavior and really increase their on-task time. It's so simple and it's free, guys. It's so powerful to kind of build that rapport and make them feel special and valued. You can even make it fun by offering choices like fist bumps or elbow bumps, or maybe you'll come up with a sequence of little hand gestures. This daily interaction is going to set that positive tone for the whole day. It makes students feel seen and respected right as soon as they walk into your room. And here's where you can kind of get creative. Imagine incorporating task boxes that reinforce these greetings. For instance, you can have a quote-unquote morning greeting task box where students can pick and choose how they would like to be greeted every morning. This not only adds a fun element to the routine, but also helps students start the day with a sense of autonomy. All right, number 2. Next up is emotions check-in. This quick activity allows students to kind of identify how they're feeling, what they might need in the morning to feel more successful throughout the day. By making this a part of your morning routine, you're really helping those students develop that self-awareness and emotional regulation. Those are the skills that they're going to need. And it's also going to give you really valuable insight into how your students are doing emotionally that morning, which is going to absolutely help guide your interactions with them throughout the day. I've also seen with my daughter, she was in 3rd grade or 4th grade when they started this. They gave her a Google form that they had to fill out every single morning. They came in, it was part of their morning work, and they filled out a quick little Google form to kind of provide a more comprehensive outlet and information to give to the teachers. So if they had a rough night or if they argued with their parents that morning, it gives them a way to kind of put that somewhere, and then the teacher can hit them up at some other point during the day. All right, number 3, a morning meeting. This is a more structured approach where you can greet each other or chat or kind of have activities that you guys can promote some SEL activities. You can also focus on a different skill every day, really helps bring the classroom together and gives everyone a voice. All right, number 4, positive affirmations are super important. I love positive affirmations. I feel like before I turned 40, I really hated them, but I've started using them a lot during my older age, and they're super empowering because they encourage students to create their own kind of way to kind of lift them up. So positive self-talk can build that confidence and setting a positive tone for the entire day. This is just another way that task boxes can come into play because you can have affirmation cards that students can pick up and read aloud. Maybe they have a time during the day that they could do this. This could be like a daily ritual that kind of builds up their self-esteem over time. All right, let's jump to number 5, SEL questions of the day. I've kind of seen this all over TikTok, but having that question of the day on the board as soon as students walk in the room can really spark those meaningful thoughts and conversations. Students can write or discuss their thoughts, setting that reflective tone for the rest of the day. You can also, and I'm going to talk about task boxes all of the time, but you can incorporate a task box where students can kind of draw a question out from those set of cards, and this can make the activity more interactive and fun, and it's just another way to add a task box prompt. Number 6 is journaling. That is just another effective practice. Each morning, students can respond to a prompt, and again, this could be in a task box, or students can pull out the prompt, or it could be a theme each day that helps them reflect on those social, emotional themes like empathy or decision-making or whatnot. Number 7, read alouds. You guys, read alouds are such a great way to introduce social, emotional themes through stories and storytelling. You want to choose a book that highlights a particular SEL skill and kind of discuss it with the classroom. You want to be able to have meaningful conversations after these read alouds. I don't like having read alouds where we don't end up talking about it, especially if it has one of those themes in it, because I would hate for them to go through the rest of the day without having a chance to express their feelings. All right, number 8, choice boards. I am all about visual choice boards. These SEL choice boards really offer students the opportunities to select an activity that resonates with them, right? This approach empowers students by giving them control over their learning. So this is another way that you can have a task box. You can include a bunch of different SEL activities that kind of align with that choice board, providing a ton of options for students to explore. So some examples that I kind of wanted to go over are, say, maybe you create this choice board that would have maybe just some social emotional learning practices to kind of start their day. Maybe you have just a visual and it says positive affirmations, or reading a book, or journaling, or filling out a question of the day, or whatever it is that you want them to have that choices. Using choices is a great tool. All right, guys, and there you have it. That is 8 simple SEL practices to start the day. Remember, you do not have to implement all of these at once. Start with 1 or 2 that kind of resonate with you and see how they work with your students. Also, don't forget to check out my task boxes, which are a fantastic way to reinforce these practices in your classroom. Thanks for joining me today on Teach, Task Box, Inspire. If you found these ideas helpful, please share this episode with your colleagues. Until next time, guys. Bye-bye. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Teach, Taskbox, Inspire. I hope you've gained some tips and motivation to fuel your week ahead. If you're ready to explore more strategies for empowering your students as independent learners, be sure to dive into my free training at chalkboardsuperhero.com/training. And don't keep all this knowledge to yourself. Share this episode with your special education teacher friends who could use some motivation and inspiration. One more thing before you go. If you're finding this podcast helpful and want to show support, head to Apple Podcasts and leave your rating and review. Until next time, keep teaching, taskboxing, and inspiring.